What's going on, YouTube? This is Dave's Daily Trades, where I bring you daily AMC technical analysis, price predictions, and of course, the latest and greatest information. If you'd be so kind enough to hit that like button and subscribe, I'd be greatly appreciative. All right, so of course, as you guys know, it was my birthday weekend. For all of those who care, I did have a great weekend, lots of drinking, lots of fun, but now it's back to the grind. So, taking a look at the 1 minute chart here. So, of course, AMC had a great day. We're up just about 8% on the day. Started off the morning with a good push up to right around $58. Traded down, but then really had these patterns where we're trading up, consolidate, go down for a little bit, then up. Consolidated really nicely around this area over here in the late morning, mid-afternoon before, yes, of course, the short ladder attacks came, brought us down to a low at that point of, what is that, 56.70 area, but then made a push back up into the $58 territory where we did consolidate once again. And guys, we can confirm that consolidation here on the MACD, and of course for this consolidation region right here, over here. So of course, I really love the consolidation going into close. That was really interesting today and definitely bullish for tomorrow. As you guys know, or last time I checked at least, the after hours, we were down just about 0.3%. Nothing crazy, but that consolidation continued into after hours. So really, my price predictions for tomorrow is I do think we're going to make a retest of this $60 range. And that, of course, we're actually going to zoom out here before we start talking about that. But that retest of that $60 range, that would be the fourth retest. And typically, AMC likes to break out after the fourth time. So, of course, we had one here on that first initial spike up, two here, three here, and now we are going for number 4. Of course, looking down here on the technicals, one thing I want to show you guys is the OBV here. Of course, a lot of people were getting worried that apes were selling, which of course is not going on. OBV is really a good indicator to see if money is leaving the market. And of course, we can see it is not, guys. Apes are still in this. They're ready to fight. Of course, as we can also see that the volume has been decreasing for the past 2.5, 3 weeks now. But of course, when we see that decrease, yeah, it does cut out for a little bit and then absolutely decides to spike up and go parabolic. So that's something to keep an eye on too. But looking at the MACD is really, really flat right now, which is a good sign because that's typically when AMC likes to start building up volume and going crazy, like we saw back in late May. Same thing with RSI. We are still over that 50 range. And typically my rule of thumb, if you've been here before, is anything over 50 I consider bullish. Anything below 50 is bearish. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind while looking at these indicators. But of course, one thing to note, guys, these indicators are not perfect. Of course, these indicators are really just looking at the candlesticks and that's it. Doesn't know any of the backstory or any other information that's going on. Because, guys, perfect example here. We had a MACD crossover. MACD crossed over. What happens the next day? Green day. So, guys, typically what happens when a MACD crossover, it's very bearish. But, of course, that's not the case because this is AMC. This is much different from any other stock on the market right now. Of course, RSI looking good as well. And OBV, again, still literally flat. Waiting for its next run up here. So, we'll definitely see what's going on. So a few things that I did want to cover with you guys today is just the interesting options data that's been going on. Of course, as we know, it has been a boring, 2.5, 3 weeks now. But that was a really good chance for implied volatility, or IV as many call it, to take a chill, come down. I believe it's right around 174%, which does seem high. But for AMC, a couple months ago, guys, and when we had that first run up, we're at like 280% implied volatility. So what that does is that definitely brings very attractive prices to all of the options contracts. And that's why we are starting to see increasing volume on both sides here, and especially for the call option. Of course, I believe call to put ratio today was somewhere around 79% calls. So, I mean, that's super, super bullish, especially at these new levels. And Unusual Whales, they've actually been posting some very interesting information on AMC definitely check them out on Twitter because, like I said, posting all this information about the interesting call volume that I was alerted to. So we'll take a look at this. So this right here is the July 2nd $65 calls, which of course is coming up right around the corner. Bid ask spread on this, not bad at all. 217, 219. Very, very cheap here. And of course, like I said, implied volatility on this is about 175. But really the biggest thing is the daily volume here. Literally 4 million in daily call volume for $65 call options. So we'll definitely take a look here. And actually, before we go into the options, we're just going to take a look at Stonko Tracker. Like I said, guys, definitely use this service because this was made by apes for the apes. So definitely support the community by checking this out. So, of course, for July 2nd, we have 67,493, which is actually just about 6.7 million shares of AMC if we stay at our current price. Of course, breaking $60 would add just about 20,000 more call options, so that definitely helps. Of course, borrowed shares here. Guys, this is something I barely even look at anymore. Definitely good to know and keep in the back of your head. But these shares, of course, they're just getting pulled out of thin air. We know that right now. Same thing with the ETFs. So, guys, nothing really big here. And, of course, the fee doesn't really matter. For options data, yes, the big day is 7/2, July 2nd, where we do have a good amount of volume. And, of course, this looks to be hedged on the other side in the puts. But, of course, guys, look at all this call volume here. That means that not only are people bullish on AMC this month, but guys, they're bullish on AMC all the way up to 2023 because this stock is recovering. Look at the pre-sale data for Fast and Furious 9. Unbelievable, guys. So, of course, regardless of a squeeze play, regardless of a recovery play, AMC is a very healthy company that's putting up very good numbers. Dark pool, of course, this data is delayed by a day, I believe. So this is representing Friday's data. Short percentage was 44.3%, which, guys, definitely kind of the norm here. That's a very high short percentage. And of course, dark pool percentage, literally about half of the shares traded on Friday, actually more than half of the shares traded on Friday were through the dark pools. Very interesting. Then, of course, you guys can check out the failure to delivers. Of course, these shorts are trapped in some very, very scary positions. But one of the biggest things, yeah, of course, we do have some good volume for that $55 strike and, of course, going onward. But, of course, the one thing that surprised me the most here is the 150 strike prices. 44,701 calls. Literally almost the same as the $55 strike, which is unbelievable. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind. If we do start to see prices run up, even if we get close to $100, that's when hedge funds are going to have to delta hedge against those deep out the money call options. So that could easily run this stock like crazy, like we saw 2 or 3 weeks ago. So one thing I want to let you guys know is I did post a tweet today, literally exactly at pre-market, 9:30 a.m., just saying that the pre-market volume was just about 1 million shares, which on Friday, just to put in perspective, was literally 15,000. So I did post a video on Friday, yes, Friday, which I will link at the end of this video, where I did talk about the changes in pre-market volume and how this actually had an effect on AMC. So months prior, when we did have that first initial run-up, pre-market volume hit a low of about 20,000. And of course, from that day, it literally started stair-stepping its way up to just about, actually, there was a few days when this first had the run-up where we were over 1 million shares in pre-market, well over. Some days, I think it was actually up to 3 million shares in pre-market. So that's something that I'm personally keeping an eye on, and I'll definitely keep on reporting on this, see how that plays out. But just wanted to keep you guys posted on that. And also, definitely subscribe to me on, or not subscribe to me, follow me on Twitter. What am I talking about here? For just daily updates on AMC, what I'm seeing in the market, certain graph trends, and of course, things like this. All right, guys, that's enough of me for today. If you did like this video, definitely hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And tune in for the next one. Peace.